dogs. Just sitting here, watching clouds drifting by. Not a care in my mind. What a beautiful sky. Peace is filling me. Wish I could always be carefree as this time. Not a cloud in my mind. What a beautiful sky. Peace can always come with or without the sun. It's always here inside me. Only a thought away, it's mine to choose each day, getting out of my way. Just sitting here, watching clouds drifting by. Not a care in my mind. What a beautiful sky. Just sitting here, watching clouds drifting by. Not a beautiful sky. Not a care in my mind. What a beautiful sky. Peace can always come with or without the sun. It's always here inside me. Only a thought away, it's mine to choose each day, getting out of my way. Just sitting here, watching clouds drifting by. Not a care on my mind. What a beautiful sky. Good morning.
Thank you. So welcome to Unity of Bon Air on this beautiful, beautiful rainy day. And everybody out there on Zoom? No, Zoom. YouTube, thank you. YouTube. Yeah, we just changed YouTube from Facebook. Anyway, welcome to Unity on this beautiful Sunday. And we're going to start with a song that we always start with. It's Claudia's wonderful song, God is Good and All Is Well.
If you want to stand, you can.
And I have to turn the page first.
What a wonderful morning, beyond compare. I feel God's loving presence everywhere. I am filled with joy profound.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity of Bon Air, where we live and express unconditional love and grow together in peace and prosperity. So my name is Chris Raybender, there I am, and I am honored and very grateful to be here as your service leader today, and glad to share this time with you both in person and online. So I have to do this thing real quick. Sorry. Hi, Emerson. It's my daughter. You know, Daddy's made the big time now. I'm on the stage at church. So I told her I would wave to her. So whether this is your first time or your 100th time, we are grateful for your presence and participation as we share this special time together. We have come together as part of love's divine purpose that calls each of us forward to celebrate the connection we all share through the holy presence within and all around us that we call God. In this spirit of community, we unfold in light and love all spiritual and religious gatherings and all people everywhere. And we begin our time together with this special message from our daily word. So the daily word for today is realize. I have had many aha moments throughout my life when something had befuddled me for years suddenly became clear. It may have been something I tried to learn in school, a skill I practiced and tried to master as I grew, or even an idea that challenged my understanding of the world around me. Whenever I realized something new, I could feel my world expanding, opening up before me in fresh and exciting ways, making me eager to discover even more. On my spiritual journey, I feel a similar excitement as I realize I have so much more than a spark of divinity within me. I am fully divine, just as I am fully human. I feel newly alive in this realization and so very grateful for it. The scripture today comes from Genesis 28:16. Then Jacob woke from his sleep and said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." The affirmation for today, I'm going to say it once, and if you could repeat it twice with me, that would be great. I realize the power of spiritual truth. Together, I realize the power of spiritual truth. I realize the power of spiritual truth. Thank you very much. So I have the pleasure today of introducing our speaker as well. And I think most of us already know her. Reverend Valorie Kay is going to be our speaker. And she has been an Associate Minister of Education at Unity of Bon Air since 2018. As most of you know by now, in August, she will begin a new chapter on her ministerial journey as the Senior Minister of Unity of Richmond. We congratulate her. So Valorie also serves on the board of the Unity Urban Ministerial School alumni and is also an online instructor for the school. She's been a traveling guest speaker and musician for Unity for over 20 years. She has been sharing her gift of song since she was a young girl and facilitated many experiential workshops and groups, including rope courses, fire walks, chant and drum circles, and women's groups. We are grateful to have her speak with us this morning. All right, I invite you now to take a look around to the other people in this sanctuary or just around the room in the place where you are and recognize the truth of this beautiful song. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace.
And so, good morning and welcome to those of you who are online as well as here. Let us take this time to pause and relax and breathe deeply in and out, bringing in that breath of spirit that is moving and breathing and lives within us. We come together as one spiritual heart beating together this day. Beating together in love, in peace, and in joy. And as we pause and breathe, we allow the breath to help release any chatter of the mind, any thoughts. Just let them float away and sink deeper into your heart, into our heart. As we reach and hold each person here in this room, each person who is online with us right now, or who joins us at another time. May the message of love this day awaken every heart. We join with other communities in Richmond and around the world this day, coming together in worship and praise and peace. And as one heart, we call on all our fellow human beings to awaken. Awaken to the awareness of who they are in relation to the divine. We allow this light, this love, this peace to flow like a river to all of those whom we want to bring into our prayer consciousness right now, to all situations that we want to bring more harmony to all leaders, all people, all four-leggeds, all winged ones, our rivers, our waters, our earth. We hold all this in this one spiritual heart together this day. And we are grateful. So we feel that gratitude now, and together as we come back into the awareness of the room, into the seat that's holding you, and the light, together we say, I am grateful 3 times. I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. And so it is. So we welcome, are there any new people here today with us? We welcome you. If there's anyone new in the room, raise your hand. We just want to give you some love. Right there in the back. Kara, who's with you?
Yeah, I have my father with me today.
Well, yes, Unity of Houston. Yes, thank you. We welcome you. We welcome those of you who are on YouTube as well. And please just, send us a shout out. Let us know if you're interested in knowing more about Unity of Bon Air or membership. Give us a shout out so we can reach out to you and give you our welcome packets that we have to give you. All right, thank you. Now, who was here on Thursday night? Chillin' at Unity. Chillin' at Unity, our first of the new summer series. So we had poetry night. It was at 6:30, so just note that new time. This Thursday we have the Lucy Kilpatrick Quartet joining us. Her husband Charlie, Claudia, Carawan, and Forrest Young. Yes, yes, wonderful. So do come out to our Thursday series. A good time will be had by all, and join us this Thursday. And so now we will have a congregational song.
You can rise in body or in spirit as you are led. I am the infinite, all that be. I am the infinite, listen as me. I am the infinite, forever free. I am, yeah. I am the infinite, all that be. I am the infinite, listen as me. I am the infinite, forever free. I am.
Here's part B.
Infinite, eternal grace, beyond all form and time and space. Peace is mine in knowing this. I am all right. I am the infinite, all that be. I am the infinite, expressing as me. I am the infinite, forever free. I am. Wait that. I am the infinite, all that be. I am the infinite, expressing as me. I am the infinite, forever free. I am. Infinite, eternal grace, beyond all form and time and space. Peace is mine in knowing this. I am all right. I am the infinite, all that be. I am the infinite, expressing as me. I am the infinite, forever free. I am. I am.
All right.
That's what a bar is.
Remain standing as we affirm our unity statement of truth. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the omnipotent good.
Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, is fighting, fighting, I am finding peace.
When the world is
Marching, marching, I love to love you. How I love to love you. I'm in love with love for you. Love is the breath of spring. Breathe it. Love is the breath of spring. Breathe it. Follow your heart's light. See it. Follow your soul's desire. Free it.
When the world
Is fighting, fighting, I am finding peace.
When the world is marching, marching,
I love to love you. How I love to love you. I'm in love with love for you. Love is the breath of spring. Breathe it. Love is the breath of spring. Breathe it. Follow your heart's light. See it. Follow your soul's desire. Free it.
Thank you, Dan, Nancy, and Julie. Wow. Love is a breath of spring. Who do you think you are? That's the title of my message today. I've been thinking about this for a few weeks. Nothing really came to me as, a few little pieces here and there, and then I was on vacation for a week. I'm like, how am I going to get this message? But all the little pieces started coming together up and until, including yesterday. So I asked this question, who do you think you are? And if I can be a little bit frank, when I was a child, I heard my mother say, who do you think you are? And then Jesus Christ, that came afterwards. And I felt, something about that really did, I felt that, But it was always when someone was being a little cocky or full of themselves that she said that. And I'm sure someone said that to her too when she was younger. And when we aren't aware of some of the impact of things and how we've been wounded, sometimes we perpetrate them on other people. So I want to talk to you today about how we can live from our spiritual identity while embracing our humanity. In unity, we affirm this one presence and one power that is everywhere present and active in our life, which is called God, Allah, Brahman, Great Spirit, I Am, all that is, many, many names, Yahweh, Ultimate Reality, and Divine Mind. I'm sure there are more. And we also acknowledge that this presence resides in each and every one each and every one. And at the core of everything is that spiritual identity, our core essence. So today, let's talk about how we can live out from that identity and embrace our humanity, and how we can use spiritual practice to breathe through the difficulties and bring ourselves back to center and return to the wonder. You can use it W-O-N-D-E-R or O-N-E-D-E-R, into the wonder of innocence, our original innocence. There's a story in Matthew 16 about Jesus and his disciples. They were traveling from Caesarea Philippi, and Jesus asked his disciples, who do they say I am? And they said, well, some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, some say Jeremiah. You see, at the core of their teaching and in context, there was a prophecy that said a Messiah was come, and it was related to those signs that had to do with those ancient prophets. But then Jesus changed the question to, who do you say I am? And that's when Peter said, you are the Christ, Son of the living God. And then Jesus said, that is correct. I'm paraphrasing, of course, right? He said, yes, and it wasn't your ego who told you that. It was the Spirit of God in you that told you that told you that. Now, Jesus also said other things like, you are the light of the world. Don't hide your light under a bushel. He also said to his disciples, these and greater things shall you do. So if we believe in those teachings that Jesus taught and in our unity principles, then how do we live our lives out from that? There's a story about a statue, and this is a true story. In 1957, this is how our light gets hidden. This is just an illustration of how the light gets hidden within us. And there's a statue in Thailand, and in 1957, the monks of that area were asked, they were called to move the statue to Thailand, to Bangkok, because that was the new capital, and they wanted all the old relics to be moved in honor. And what they discovered when moving the statue is that there were flakes of it that started chipping away. I guess some ropes broke, and it kind of got hit on the ground, and so some chips started coming off, and they did not know, but as they chiseled away at what was underneath, they discovered underneath all of that clay was a golden statue. Now, what historians figured out is that that statue, some 200 years earlier, had been covered up by the monks who knew that the Burmese army was coming, because they would come and destroy all their, very precious things. And so they covered it up with this clay. And then all the monks were killed. And so no one knew that that statue was gold until that occurred. So it's kind of like us. Our golden self gets buried inside some of our traumas of the past, our ill-gotten thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, about other people, and they keep us in a state, as they say in Buddhism, of samsara, which means suffering. So, we just kind of get covered up sometimes by those experiences in our life. But it's that spiritual essence is still there. The gold is there. So here is another story I have that is about the impact of discovering new. When you first can discover your innocence and your purity as this spiritual being. I used to study and go to Texas every year to serve as a musician, a team of musicians for, she had a clinic there, a holistic clinic, and she was a minister. Her name was Michelle O'Donnell. She would tell a story about in her younger years. She had been a nurse, and then she also was a single mother of two, but she got very ill, and one of her kidneys started failing. She was in the hospital, and she was in kidney failure and very, very sick. And her pastor came to see her and visit her while she was in the hospital. So her pastor came, and while she was laying there in bed, she was very, very weak to even do much, and she asked for a glass of water. He got the glass of water, and he said, "Anything for you, my Lord." Well, that took her aback a bit. She asked him to pray with her, and he said, "Anything for you, my Lord." And every request that she said, he said, "Anything for you, my Lord." And she was just like aghast. What in the world? It blew her mind. So in talking with this pastor, she heard that he could see and acknowledge that the face of God was in her, that God was in her, or Christ was in her. And what he was talking about is that he saw that in her. And if, as Jesus said, when I serve my fellow man, you're serving me. So, or serving your God. So she realized that, and she, got well by that incredible amount of acknowledgement and love that pastor showed her. This was her wake-up call, and as she went on with her life, then she later became a minister. She made it her life's work to then assist people with serious illnesses to heal their relationship with the divine, because the religion of their upbringing made them feel and think that they were less than. This pastor understood, like Franciscan monk Richard Rohr defines the universal Christ in his book by the same name. He said, "This Christ is a light that allows people to see things in their fullness. The precise and intended effect of such light is to see Christ everywhere else. To see Christ in everything and everyone else. And that is the definition that will never fail you, always demand more of you, and give you no reason to fight, exclude, or reject anyone." Now, in our Tuesday book study, See No Stranger, Valorie Kay, she talks a lot about her Sikh faith, because they have this understanding as well. She talked about the pain of losing a friend in high school. She grew up in Clovis, California, a family of farmers, 2 or 3 generations. They came in the 1920s. And she had to part ways with her friend because she came to her attention that her friend thought she was going to go to hell because she wasn't Christian. And some neighbors came to her house, and the neighbors came, and they tried to pray the devil out of her and all this experience she had. So she was, oh my gosh, that is wild. But she was really struggling and hurt by this. So one Sunday, she was in the place of worship with her grandfather and struggling with this very thing, and she just ran out. She decided, I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to these people. I'm going to confront them and ask them, why, do they think this? Well, she ran out, and she ended up in this chapel of a Christian church, and I'm not sure which denomination, it doesn't really matter, but the only person that was in there was a woman practicing the organ for a concert recital that evening. She asked if she could come in. She sat down and she listened to the music. And while she was sitting there, she had this mystical experience. And when the woman stopped practicing, she came down and started to talk to her. And this is what she said was her experience. The music ended and tears were pouring down my face. I tried to understand what just happened. This was my first experience of Vishnmad since childhood. That means wonder. That spontaneous moment of ecstatic wonder, the taste of oneness, sweet as nectar, the gift I had longed for. And it happened while inside a Christian church. What do you feel? The organist was looking at me. I remembered my mission here. I wiped my tears and gathered myself up tall. I saw this woman as every Christian, every white person who had hurt me, who made me feel like a dog and condemned me to hellfire. I just can't believe that there could be a God who would send me to hell, I said. There was a pause as she looked at me. I was ready to fight. I can't either, she said. She saw my shock and she explained, I think there are many paths. It just doesn't make sense otherwise. Of course, some people don't agree. She laughed. There was a sparkle in her eye, and I started crying. She handed me tissues, and I threw my arms around her. Her name was Faye, and she was the first Christian I had ever met who did not believe I was going to hell. I would go on to meet many more people like her and learn that there are many ways to be Christian, just as there are many ways to be sick. She talks in her book about wonder and what that is, and how it's something that we are naturally have in childhood. We start out with that wonder, and here's how she defines that. Wonder is our birthright. It comes easily in childhood. The feeling of watching dust motes dancing in the sunlight, or climbing a tree to touch the sky, or falling asleep thinking about where the universe ends. If we are safe and nurtured enough to develop our capacity to wonder, we start to wonder about the people in our lives too, their thoughts and experiences, their pain and their joy, their wants and needs. We begin to sense that they are to themselves as vast and as complex as we are to ourselves, their inner world as infinite as our own. In other words, we are seeing them as our equal. We are gaining information about how to love them. Wonder is the wellspring for love. Now, in this book, she talks about revolutionary love, which she compares to labor, the labor of giving birth. She says that revolutionary love is a form of sweet labor and that it engages all of our emotions, that joy is the gift of love and grief is the price we pay for love. Anger protects what is loved. And when we have reached our limit, wonder is the act that returns us to love. Revolutionary love is the choice to enter into this wonder with ourselves, with others, and with our opponents. She talks about this a lot, and I invite you to join our group. It's still going strong. It's on Tuesday evenings, either in person or on Zoom. Yesterday, we held a service for one of our members and one of our former prayer chaplains, Bryant Tyndall. He had lived his life in a way that opens up to love, opened people up to love. We heard it from all of the various friends and families who shared in the service. When I saw him a couple of days before he passed, he said, I asked him what I could do for him, and he said, just know that I love you. Then I sang the song to him because it reminded me of a Sufi song. I know that you know that I love you. What I want you to know is that I know that you love me too. And so that was the last time I saw him, and a couple of days later, I'd gotten the word that he had transitioned. He lived, and he shared, and they shared in the service yesterday, how he believed in 4 pillars of living a Christ-like life. And those 4 pillars that he is probably, if you've had any conversations with him or taken a class when he was teaching here, are to love everyone, see no stranger, to forgive everyone, don't judge, and to live a life of service. This man was full of wonder. He would go and talk with a homeless person on the street and sit there long enough with that person until somebody came along to give them both money. But anyway, he just reached out to so many people in love. To love everyone is to see everyone with this sense of wonder, and to forgive and surrender the false for the true, to give up those thoughts that cause the appearance of separation and judgment. So as we practice releasing those thoughts and judgments of our egocentric mind, that opens our mind to that God nature, that goodness. It is an ongoing process, which is why Jesus said, when they asked him, how many times do we need to forgive, Master? And he said 70 times 7. And it wasn't that he meant, just 490 times. It just meant that you keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep coming back to center. Come back to your true north. So the last thing I would like to share with you, which I hadn't really, it's like I write things and I forget about them, and one day I discover them at just the right time. And so when I was looking at this message, here was this other little entry that I had typed 2 or 3 years ago. And this was a journal entry that I wrote from a study, spiritual study. And who are you? This is the question my teacher asked. Who am I? As I ponder that question, what comes to me is, I am this person of the great isness, this person, Valorie, of the great I am. I am not my personality or the thoughts I think, such as I am important or I'm not important enough. At my core, I am the eternal spirit of life that currently inhabits this body, this personality. This essence that is expressing here has a higher mind to think with and a heart to love with that is so much greater than this personality, which is not yet fully awakened. My body and mind sleeps, but I am is always awake. It is my desire and my purpose to stay awake with the eternal nature I am. That is the eternal nature of all. End of my journal entry. Unity minister Wendy Craig Purcell has a book called Ask Yourself This, and she talks about how asking the right questions provide us with transformation and growth. And her first question always is what do I know for sure? And Oprah also picked that up, and she would say the same thing. What I know for sure is, or what do you know for sure? And so as I pondered that, I realized there's little that I know for sure. What I do know is that you and I are this eternal nature. That is the true north. That is my compass. What is your true north? Who do you think you are? What I know for sure is that I am the person who, along with everyone else, is the music and the harmony of the universe. That we come from the field of first cause, and in that field there is only one. I am at times fully aware of this, and other times not. I feel cut off, lost, or out of touch. As you might identify with it, it really is easy to get distracted from that. What I do know for sure is that it is my purpose to awake and stay awake and to help others wake up and stay awake. My friend Bryant knew that, or B. I think this is a universal purpose. To awaken means to become enlightened. That's what Buddha means, the enlightened one. And once we wake up, then we want to We feel called to share the good news. We feel called to serve others and share the love. And that is being anointed. And that's what anointed means. So Christ means the anointed one, Buddha, the awakened one. So Buddha was not Gautama's last name. Christ was not Jesus' last name. They're states of awareness that we all have underneath the mud of that golden statue. Now back to my journal writing. The next question that Anam asked is, are you a true devotee of the authentic light of being? Wow, I must pause before answering that question. I then have to ask another question. What does it mean to be a true devotee of the authentic light of being, of this spiritual self? What I know for sure is that a true devotee would commit to bringing more love into the world. A true devotee would look to see oneness instead of division. How do I show up? So I'm asking, this is rhetorical, but something to think about. How do I show up as a devotee of light? How do you show up as a devotee of your light, your spiritual essence? Sometimes we lose our way and we have to rely on others' light so we can help each other along by holding that mirror up, by helping light the way for another and saying, I know who you are. I see you. The great line out of the movie Avatar. Well, it just so happens yesterday's daily word was about light. Divine light shines in me and through me. God's radiant light is always present in my life, even at times when my human eyes may see only darkness. I know that there is always light behind it. I hold to the truth that any apparent gloom is temporary and will yield to light and joy. When I turn within, I visualize being surrounded and filled with this spiritual light, the very truth of my being. Indeed, it is the truth about each and every person on earth. I take time to see this light present in all people and in all situations in the world. So on a daily basis, let us devote ourselves to the higher understanding and be a devotee of this authentic light of being. This is who you are. My concluding thought is, to every situation that comes up or challenge, then ask the question, how can I be more peace, more love, more light in this situation? I am not a helpless victim. I am not important or unimportant. I am this person of the great isness, the great I am. I am truly loved, and I am truly love in expression. And so are you. Who now do you think you are? It was Maya Angelou who said, people will not remember you for the things you have said, but for how they felt in your presence. It is a simple practice to think of or do something that leaves people good, feeling good in your presence. If there is anything that a critical illness or a death or a conflict can teach us, is that life is precious. Spend your time creating a life that gives you a sense of wonder and opens you to this love. Life is too precious to hold a grudge. Do what it takes to let things go and open to the love that you are, just as Valorie Kay has outlined in her book, See No Stranger. We may go through the steps of labor To love others, we must have that sense of wonder, we must grieve when there's harm, and we must fight for our values. To love our opponents or so-called enemies, we must move through the rage, listen to understand, and reimagine. So I want to leave you today with Bryant's parting words. Know that I love you, and I see you. And you have been all a part of my life and my growth and my transformation, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Now, let us go into a little meditation time. So we just breathe in and relax and let the music support and carry us into this time of meditation. I'm going to share with you what was shared with me so generously by a friend, the Divine Light Invocation. In the Divine Light Invocation, we're not going to do all the steps of it, but there's a lot of some breathing and some tension release just to get relaxed, but I am created by divine light. I am sustained by divine light. I am protected by divine light. I am surrounded by divine light. And I am ever growing into the divine light, my awareness of this light that I am, that expresses within me, as me, through me. And allow and imagine or sense or feel this light is bursting forth from your heart out into the world, onto any situation that needs this love and light presence. Any persons. Allow this light to dissipate your view of yourself as a form or a person until all you can see is that you are light. And we see that for the others in our life that we bring into our awareness and prayer time and meditation time. We see them in this light as well, all part of the great one field of light. We give thanks and we rest in this peace and this time and this knowing of each other as we come to a close. Together we say, I am grateful. I am grateful. And so it is. Take a deep breath, wiggle your fingers and your toes, and know that you can always come back, go back to that place of, or that spaciousness, open to that spaciousness. And so now is the time to prepare for our tithes and our offerings, as we consider giving them online or leaving them in the offering here or mailing or dropping them by. We just feel the flow of the blessing of prosperity in our lives, not just in money, but in each other. And so together, as you bring this to your awareness, your gratitude, we'll say our blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving and receiving.
So we're happy to actually invite Reverend Valorie to sing with us, share some more of her talent. This is a song that we first heard by a group called Hot Soup. It's a trio of women at Shady Grove Coffee House, and the song just fits the message.
I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. I'm digging way down deep. Yes, I am. I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. There's clear water running through me. I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. I'm digging way down deep.
Yes, I am.
I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. There's clear water running through me. Ain't got no answers, got a whole lot of questions, and nothing on on the surface seems to satisfy me. Can't find it on the outside, got to feel it on the inside and
Dig down deeper than history. So I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. I'm digging way down deep. Yes, I am. I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. There's clear water running through me.
Terror strikes me in the middle of the night, and even arms around my body can't comfort me. My heart is thirsty for that cool drink of water. Got to
Get out my shovel, get busy. So I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. I'm digging way down deep. Yes, I am. I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. There's clear water running through me.
cool, clear water flowing through me, washing all my fears away. Cool, clear water flowing through me, moving me up to the light.
Oh, baby.
Daybreak finds me in the morning light, and it's hard to hold on to what sets me free. I go down to the river 'cause it helps me remember to dig down deeper in my time of need.
So
I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. I'm digging way down deep.
yes, I am.
I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. There's clear water running through me. I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. I'm digging way down deep.
Yes, I am.
I'm digging way down, down to the bottom of my soul. There's clear water running through me.
Clear water running through me. Clear water running.
Water running
through me. And we bless and we gratefully receive these gifts, knowing the gift and giver are one. And we see these gifts going forth, doing the work and the will of unity of Bon Air and blessing our community. And thank you.
We have some transformational opportunities for you, but real quick, Unity Board President Brent Jackson has an announcement he would like to make.
Good afternoon, Unity. I can't hear you. Good afternoon, Unity. Good afternoon. Right, great. I'm taking this moment to celebrate a person within our congregation who has been a member. Well, actually, if I'm correct, this is who I'm celebrating, by the way. She came to this church in 2008 or 2009, wasn't it? Something like that. And she came because Claudia Carawan asked her to come to sing. So she came to sing, she came to perform. Next thing you know, she decided to stay. She became a member. She started teaching classes. She started enlightening all of us as to her beliefs, her divinity, and what Unity of Bon Air was all about. She became a mainstay in this congregation to the point that every time I came here on Sunday, I would see Reverend Valorie. And it became so, I became so accustomed to seeing her that I always thought she would be here. Always did. But she has an opportunity to fulfill her life goal. And she took that risk, which is part of our divinity with regards to unity worldwide. She took a risk with the blessings from this church and with the blessings of those who love her. And she was successful in that risk. I hate to see her go. I really do. And I will be missing you a lot. But she has been offered and has accepted the position of senior minister for Unity of Richmond. Now, she's not gone yet. We got her to August 20th, and we're going to work her to that time period. But most of all, we just want to celebrate her because we've seen her growth. We have seen her grow for the last 14 years within this congregation. She is a product of our love. I am so happy to know that when she leaves, she's not too far away. Yeah. Yeah. So Unity, what do we do when we celebrate someone? Come on, hands up. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. And we see you doing amazing things. Yeah. In fact, we say we see her doing amazing things, but we know she's going to do amazing things. Amen. Valorie,
Amen.
Please.
I don't know what more there is to say. What was said, I really do. I am so grateful for this church and for all of you and for all that have contributed to my growth and transformation. It started in the classroom. You know, I had no idea I was going to go be a minister. I just started taking classes and, you know, things opened up in my consciousness, and then I became a licensed teacher, and then, you know, well, maybe I ought to become a minister. So it's been a progression, and it's been a blessing, and so thank you. Thank you.
We love you, Valorie. We do. We do. We will be having a little function for her before she leaves, so check out your e-news as well as your emails, because we want you all there. Because, you see, her success is our success. And we want to celebrate with everyone. Thank you now.
Let me tell you about some opportunities to follow in her footsteps, right? Yeah, not so easy, right? All right, so some transformational opportunities we have going on here at Unity of Bon Air. So we have the spiritual practice gathering is tonight. Will be led by Reverend Alva Kershaw, and the topic is a deep dive through the reading of poetry. We will explore the depths of spiritual practice through the reading of poetry. It is in person and it is on Zoom. If you come in person, they will have refreshments afterwards, some time to socialize and gather, so please be prepared to stay if you show up in person. Next Sunday, our speaker will be Unity Minister Reverend Richard Bunch, and the message title is, We Are Spiritual Beings. We sometimes think of ourselves as human beings looking for a spiritual experience. Reverend Richard will share how we experience a shift in consciousness and spiritual awareness when we recognize ourselves as spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in the human condition, which is life-changing. As you heard from Reverend Valerie's talk, we're continuing on Tuesday evenings, both in person and on Zoom. Reverend Valley and Reverend Alva Kershaw are facilitating the discussion around the book, See No Stranger, a memoir and manifesto of revolutionary love. The group is exploring the relationship between the practices of revolutionary love, anti-racism, and fighting for justice. The book is available in the bookstore. Even though the class has already started, you are free to come and join at any time. For those of us back in person, remember to wear your name tags. I did not do so as well. I was going to skip that message, actually, but I didn't want to get in trouble, so I said it. If you don't have one, you can sign up to get one out front as well. So youth and family ministry is growing. And with that growth comes amazing opportunities for adult volunteers to work with young people. If you have one Sunday a month to volunteer with our youth, we guarantee you and the youth will love it. So contact Reverend Valorie with your questions and to sign up. You will be supported with all you need for this wonderful experience to support our children as we grow together in unity. So speaking of the youth, the Village Montessori Academy, as you all know, is now enrolling for preschool here at Unity of Bon Air. Share this with everyone you know who has preschoolers. You can find a link to this information about the school and how to enroll at unityobonair.org, or just call the office for more information. Remember that COVID, this is an abrupt shift here. COVID is still out there, and not everyone is ready for close personal contact. So as much as we all love holding hands and hugging, we respect each other by refraining. If you are one who prefers not to have this contact, simply indicate through namaste, or this, that, hey, I'm not ready. So just be aware of that as you're walking through the church. Some folks are not quite ready for it. So our prayer chaplains are here to pray with you in the sanctuary today. Can the prayer chaplains please stand up? All right. All prayer requests are confidential. They are kept confidential. So thank you for your service, prayer chaplains. We hope you will stay. I hear there are some snacks outside, so please stay and fellowship with us if you would. So this is a little bit more normal again. I believe there's some snacks in Fellowship Hall, some beverages available as well. And the easiest way to stay in the know about everything that goes on here, right, is just to sign up for the e-news, which will arrive in your inbox every Wednesday. And you can also go to Unity of Bon Air calendar online and look at upcoming events. So thank you very much.
All right, Melody, speaking of our youth.
You come on up. He wasn't sure he wanted to come up today, but this is Blake. Let's all welcome Blake. So Blake and I spent the day talking about diversity in nature and diversity in ourselves and even in our families, and how we're all the same, but we all have different characters. And we did some rock painting, and he made a collage of diversity for us today. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. We have a little song. You are walking in the light, as the light, as the light. You are walking as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God. Wow, that's so cool to start singing and have him just start playing the perfect key. All right, well, thank you, Chris Raybender. What a fine lay leader you've been for us today. Thank you, Melody. Thank you, Dan and Nancy and Julie, for our music this day. For Ruth on sound in the back, Veronica, And I believe it's Sherry McKenzie back there. Yay! Takes a village, takes a village. All right, so we are so grateful, and this service is now ended. And now we'll say our prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.